The news coming out of Maranello has shaken the Formula One world. And for you as a fan, it's hard not to feel the weight of it. Just when it looked like Ferrari were finally steadying themselves after months of ups and downs, reports broke that two of their most important engineers are walking away from the project that was supposed to carry the team into the 2026 era. For Lewis Hamilton, who joined Ferrari this season to lead that charge, and for Charles Leclerc, who has built his career waiting for Ferrari to finally deliver, this is a thunderbolt. It's not the usual reshuffle or a quiet change in the background. These are the architects of Ferrari's future leaving at exactly the wrong time. What makes this sting even more is the timing. Hamilton has been open about how the current Ferrari feels strange under him, how he's had to adapt his style in ways that don't come naturally. His bet was on 2026, when the new regulations would give him a car that truly fits his driving. Leclerc, too, was clinging to that same hope, that this reset would finally bring the championship fight he's been promised for years. Now, instead of reassurance, they are left facing the reality that the very people building that dream car are no longer in Maranello. Rumors are already swirling that some could be heading to Audi, which makes the blow even worse, because Ferrari might end up strengthening a direct rival. You know how much Ferrari means to the Tifosi. At Monza, thousands of fans draped in red filled the stands, chanting Hamilton and Leclerc's names, hoping to see progress. But they left frustrated once again. Instead of clarity about the future, they've been hit with a story of exits, instability, and a project that suddenly looks shaky. Let me ask you directly, do you think Ferrari can recover from this before 2026? Drop a simple yes or no in the comments. I'll be checking. And if you want more fast, raw F1 updates like this, subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Your subscription is really important and helps us push toward our goal of 1,000 subscribers. Stay with me because next we'll look at why these engineers mattered so much. And that's where things get even more serious. When you hear about engineers leaving a Formula One team, it can sound like just another line in the news. But in Ferrari's case, these names are absolutely central. Wolf Zimmermann, for example, was the man trusted to guide the entire 2026 power unit program. Think of him as the architect who was sketching the blueprint for Ferrari's future engine. Alongside him, Lars Schmidt was leading the combustion side, making sure the engine not only had raw power, but also the reliability and efficiency needed under the new rules. Losing one of them would be tough. Losing both, at this exact stage, is brutal. It's not just about filling vacancies. It's about losing years of continuity, detailed knowledge, and a shared vision that you simply cannot recreate overnight. The 2026 regulations are a complete reset. Whoever nails the engine balance, hybrid systems, and integration first will have a massive advantage for years, maybe even a decade. Ferrari knew this, and that's why Zimmermann and Schmidt were so crucial. They weren't just solving problems for today. They were shaping the solutions that Hamilton and Leclerc were counting on for tomorrow. Their departure leaves a hole that even the most talented replacements will struggle to fill quickly. That's why this isn't just another reshuffle. It's a genuine setback to Ferrari's long-term competitive edge. Now, you might ask, can Ferrari plug the gap with fresh talent or outside hires? In theory, yes. But in Formula One, knowledge transfer and project momentum are priceless. When people who've been living and breathing the same project for years walk out, they take with them the insights that never make it onto paper. Rivals like Audi, who are reported to be gaining this talent, could benefit directly from Ferrari's loss. And that's what makes this such a dangerous shift for the Scuderia. So let me put it to you, which driver feels this loss the most? Is it Hamilton, who was banking on a car tailored to him? Or Leclerc, who has been loyal through years of disappointments? Drop your pick in the comments. I'll be reading. And if you're enjoying this deeper breakdown, make sure to like the video and subscribe. It really helps us grow as we push toward our first 1,000 subscribers. Up next, we'll break down exactly what this means for Hamilton and Leclerc personally, and why their careers are now caught in the middle of this storm. For Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc, this news isn't just another frustrating headline. It cuts right into their personal ambitions and timelines. Hamilton joined Ferrari with the dream of closing his legendary career in red, writing that final chapter with a car capable of fighting for titles. He's been honest that the current Ferrari sometimes feels alien, that he's had to adjust his driving in ways that don't allow him to show his true rhythm. The promise was that 2026 would fix that the car being built around him would finally feel natural. With Zimmerman and Schmidt gone, that promise feels much less secure. Imagine waiting for a car tailored to you, only to see the very people designing it walk away. That's the reality Hamilton faces today. For Leclerc, the blow might sting even more. He's carried Ferrari through years of mistakes, near misses, and disappointments, always believing that the next project would be the one. From 2019's heartbreaks to the strategy errors of 2022, he's kept the faith. The 2026 project was supposed to reward that loyalty, a chance to finally take on Verstappen, Russell, and Norris on equal terms. Instead, he's staring at yet another reshuffle, another crisis just when stability matters most. It's no wonder he might feel like Dacia Vu promises slipping away again right when they matter. Both drivers know talent alone can't win championships without the right machine. Ferrari's disruption threatens to delay the project, at the very moment rivals are pressing ahead with stability and confidence, and time is not on their side. Hamilton can't wait forever, and Leclerc can't keep wasting his prime years hoping the future finally arrives. For them, every month lost to rebuilding is another step backward in careers that demand results now. So let me ask you, if you were in their shoes, would you be patient and wait for Ferrari to rebuild? Or would you already be looking at other options? Vote in the comments with A for patience or B for change. And don't forget, subscribing not only keeps you updated on every twist, but also helps us hit that first milestone of 1,000 subscribers. Next, we'll see how rivals like Audi, Mercedes, McLaren, and Red Bull are using Ferrari's instability to pull even further ahead. While Ferrari are struggling with exits and uncertainty, their rivals are quietly, and sometimes not so quietly, building solid foundations for the 2026 era. Take Audi, for example. With their entry on the horizon, they're moving aggressively to recruit experienced figures, and if the reports are true about Zimmerman and Schmidt joining them, that gives Audi a huge boost. Add in the leadership of Mattia Binotto, who knows Ferrari inside out, and suddenly Audi looks far less like a newcomer, and far more like a dangerous rival ready to exploit Ferrari's weakness. Mercedes, meanwhile, are showing the opposite picture of stability. Their technical structure remains strong, and they've already voiced confidence in their 2026 preparations. Even after some difficult seasons, they're not losing key leaders. They're holding on to them, which is often half the battle in Formula One. Then there's McLaren, who have been climbing back into the fight with one of the sharpest technical groups in the paddock. You've seen how quickly they've turned potential into podiums, and that momentum is real. It's no surprise that many fans think they'll be a serious threat in the new era. And of course, there's Red Bull. Despite all the political drama swirling around Christian Horner and management disputes, their engineering teams haven't slowed down. They've kept pushing forward with development, making sure they're not giving up ground. For Ferrari, that contrast is painful. While others are moving forward, Maranello feels like it's slipping backward. That's why this crisis isn't just about who left the factory. It's about the relative gap between Ferrari and everyone else. In Formula One, you don't just need progress. You need progress faster than your competition. Right now, Ferrari risk falling behind before 2026 even begins. And that leaves Hamilton and Leclerc trapped in uncertainty, while rivals sharpen their weapons for the next big reset. Tell me in the comments, which rival worries you the most for Ferrari's future, Audi, Mercedes, McLaren, or Red Bull? I'll be reading your picks. And if you want to follow every rivalry twist as we head toward 2026, make sure to subscribe. It helps us a lot as we push for 1,000 subscribers. So the big question is, can Ferrari actually stop this exodus and rebuild in time for 2026? Right now, team principal Frederick Vasseur is working hard to calm the storm, insisting that progress is being made and urging patience from the tifosi. But words only go so far. The reality is that Ferrari must act quickly to stabilize their technical department. That could mean offering new contracts to retain remaining leaders, accelerating the recruitment of top-tier engineers from outside, or reorganizing their internal structure to prevent further damage. Whatever path they choose, the clock is ticking, and every month counts when the biggest regulation change of the decade is just around the corner. For Hamilton, this moment feels like a test of whether the fairy tale he imagined and read will even have the chance to be written. For Leclerc, it's yet another crossroads in a career already filled with promises that didn't deliver. And for the tifosi, who live and breathe Ferrari's passion, it feels like betrayal. History, loyalty, and dreams don't win championships. Leadership and direction do. Unless Ferrari rebuilds confidence quickly, they risk entering 2026 already on the back foot, chasing shadows while their rivals seize the advantage. But here's where it gets interesting. Formula One has a way of surprising us. Big crises can sometimes trigger the kind of urgency that sparks a turnaround. Ferrari still have the resources, the fan power, and the driver lineup to make it happen if they can lock down stability fast. The question is whether they can stop the bleeding before the damage is permanent. So I'll leave it to you. Do you trust Ferrari to fix this before 2026? Yes or no? And tell me why in the comments. And if you've stayed with me to the end, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. Your subscription is super important, and it helps us reach our first 1,000 subscribers. Share this with another F1 fan who needs to know what's really going on. And stay tuned, because the next video will dive into the full 2026 timeline for every team on the grid.